If you look at the life of activists, it's almost like the life of missionaries, early missionaries. They have zero regard for materialism.
Selflessness.
But you cannot say same of some of these people. These our, let me call them Neo-Biafran agitators. To some of them, it doesn't go beyond the naira and kobo of the struggle. That is why you go to a place like Neo-Biafra, where Wazirike has his palatial mansion, and you begin to ask yourself, is this the home of an agitator? Or is this the home of a former head of state? Or the home of a former business mogul? Kedafi Wazirike na azode. Kevole Malia. As no lawyer. Yes, as a lawyer, he's of the mold of Ned Nwoko, who you say yes made money from litigation, helping countries recover funds and all that. There's nothing to his name apart from Epota. You get people, brainwash them, raise funds from diaspora sources and local people, and you say you are agitating. Agitating for what? What is it that we did wrongly in 1967 that ended in 1970 that we shouldn't repeat again in this 21st century, in this period? Has anybody sat down to have that structured conversation about what Biafra really is, or what Ndibo should really be driving or thriving towards? As of today, we appear like a people that are confused, because if you come to Nigerian context, you don't know my Nazo Biafra, my Nazo Igbo president of Nigerian president of Igbo extraction. So we have become a people that are almost rudderless, and this is where the Igbo movement has come up to say that no, we cannot be zombies, all of us. There has to be a structured conversation about this, so that it's not like we are saying that I met here that they will, by just one magic wand or by just coming to Obama or having different destiny, now the whole thing will end. No, it took years of continuous indoctrination. It took years of continuous misinformation.
Conscientization.
It took years of steady propaganda, sustained propaganda for these thoughts of Biafra, the way it is today, took root, such that people wake up and you see somebody who is living large, who is a businessman in Kano, doing very well, has maybe the largest business enterprise in Kano, yet he tells you that he is marginalized. So it has developed in Ndibo what you may define as the victim mentality. And you ask yourself, the person who is in Canada, for instance, or in the US, doing well, maybe sending monies at home, maybe as the breadwinner, diaspora remittances and all that. But this person, the last time you checked, and won't be anything this significant he has done for his immediate community, probably. But somebody somewhere has just sat down behind the microphone and told him that there are Fulanis behind his father's farmyard and that they are coming to destroy everything. So he should bring money. Yeah, would they go? And you see people sheepishly throwing in resources, throwing in money, not knowing that they have inadvertently been empowering the actual criminals who have been tormenting Ndibo. So in the light of that, I am very, very, how will I put it? I am very, very clinical in defining the difference between Biafra and Ndibo. I am Igbo, Abron Biafra. You get the point? Abmoni Igbo. In whole and yes, I don't know if you. As a matter of fact, if you look at my birth certificate, I went them for Biafra there. By virtue of my name, we in Nigeria we're three ethnic groups, three large, ethnic groups: Igbo, Hausa, and Yoruba. There are other sub ethnic groups too that also want, who are saying we are. I don't want to go, but the broader ones, where maybe other ones, when they their own derived from Igbo, Hausa, and Yoruba. Eto mana mbonyi Igbo. Na asu Igbo ekuzori mi Igbo na egosi mo na Igbo. Ano ma akọ Biafra. I mean, nobody ever told me na mbonye Biafra. You get the point. But at the end of the day, even if I elect now to say na mbonye Biafra, what is the substance to it? What kind of Biafra am I going to say nambo? Onye Biafra na apụta efumado na ebrum nwanne ya. I've said it that the struggle now has turned into a self-defeating initiative. What we are doing in the Southeast is like pointing the gun to our head and threatening the world. Nobody looks at you. Everybody can see you have the nozzle in your hand, and also as a matter of fact, the more you decimate yourself here, life is cyclical. and with that, there are just some people that will take up this space who may not even agree that Nabundi Igbo with the way we are going. So we shouldn't continue with. For me, Biafra for me has become a deliberate ploy to self-annihilate if you don't watch it.
Self-destruct.
Yes.
Erike Power, you said something about Biafra being, to you, is just hope, survival, not a struggle, right? That was what you said.
Yes.
What was hopeless about Ndi Igbo in the 60s that we needed hope? What was hopeless about us? You made that point. Get the hopeless about Ndi Igbo in the 60s that we needed that hope. Go ahead, please.
Survival, life, time changes. In the 60s, it was hope to survive that encouraged and motivated precisely Ndi Igbo to champion Biafra, because it was an ethnic cleansing.
Were we politically hopeless or economically hopeless? I want to understand in the area where Ndi Igbo are actually hopeless. These are people that started transport company in Nigeria. So is it this is the group that produced the first what is it called?
The first black millionaire.
What is Nnamdi Azikiwe?
Okay, president.
Ceremonial.
Yeah,
this is the first group, So how are we hopeless? Was it political? Was it economical? I want you to drive that point home, please.
Life. We were hopeless about life.
Okay.
Survival. Idigodondo. Remember now in the 60s, Ka Egbulu, a head of state, Boni Igbo, he was killed and was murdered.
What was that?
Agui Ironsi.
That was a coup, right?
Was that a coup?
Yeah, that was a coup. Because it was a counter coup, not even a coup.
Counter coup.
It was a counter coup.
Okay.
Because
in the name of a coup. But he was intentionally killed as Oni Igbo. And a program ensued. Ndi Igbo were motivated to seek for survival via Biafra when it was declared. Just life, just to be alive. But like I said, time changes. Like I said, I was born and was made to understand that I am Biafran. I do hit my chest to say I was born a Biafran.
Are you Igbo or Biafra?
I'm Igbo. Yes, I am Igbo. But as an Igbo man, I used to hit my chest and say, I am born, or I was born a Biafran. We inherited it via our orientation. And time changes. Time changes. When it came up, when Biafra began to exist, and now the narratives are no longer the same. That is why I can now regurgitate and start to struggle to isolate Ndi Igbo from Biafra. These are two.
I will still ask you a question
entities.
about what's happening now, because I actually want on your here because you mentioned hope. Okay, that was why I wanted to know how we're hopeless. You just mentioned life. And then who you mentioned was Agui Ironsi, head of state.
The most powerful man in Nigeria was murdered and killed.
And that was a counter coup. And then before that coup, the first coup, do you remember who was killed?
Yes.
Who?
That was coup. That first one was indeed a coup d'etat, natural, the way it should be, irrespective of where you came from or who you are. But you see that counter coup, it was an intentional,
a revenge,
deliberate. It was vengeance on Ndi Igbo, and it didn't stop there. It continued. At the time, we had no hope to survive, except that Ojukwu took it upon himself and declared Biafra. Whether it was a blunder or not, it was the spur of the moment. Ndi Igbo, for the hope of survival, encouraged and championed Biafra. Though then and now we are no longer facing the same challenges. But I believe that the consequences of that time still has some little influence or impact on us of today, which is why we are here.
Yes.
Working so hard to change the narratives.
Okay.
But for us to be able to change the narratives, we must appreciate the reality. We must appreciate the reality.
The present reality.
We must, but from the past, even the past realities, the present and the future. Reality is real.
Is the past still playing out now?
Its
the past reality,
its impact of the past is here. We are here because in the past we resolved to come here, and today we are here. We may be here again the next day as a follow-up of now. So past to today and the future, they are intertwined.
Okay.
They are connected.
Okay. You want to say something?
I want to say something.
Go ahead.
See, I'm a pan-Nigerian.
Okay.
And by that, what it means is that I believe in Nigeria. I believe that Nigeria, we are not too large to govern. Neither are our differences irreconcilable. No. The only problem with Nigeria is that we accentuate our fault lines more than those things that unify us. Now, my brother said something about, the coup and the counter coup and all that. But if you listen to him carefully, you'd also notice something in his, communism description of that, the events of the past. I tell people, you see, you can slap me, but you cannot determine how I respond to the slap. You may slap me like that man slapped Jollof and Ntaga Lunala.
Yes.
Like Jollof.
You will not tell me what to do.
Now, I don't want to, I'm Igbo, right? And the counter coup of 1966, Ndi Igbo, just like you had the coup of 1966 too, that also had people from the north and other parts of the country killed. Let me tell you, the way we hold tenaciously right now about Agu you don't see was killed, that is the same way an average northerner born today, now they indoctrinated, now on the Mpagara Anya Tafawa Balewa. As a matter of fact, when Peter Obi came out, 2023, one of the biggest news everybody was trying to buy in the north then, no Peter Tafawa Balewa. Hours later, Kabiazi, Kobawazi, no, Buloya. So you see that those kind of ethnic faults, but I don't want to call myself a politician, but I think it serves the political purpose when you begin to stoke those kinds of differences, because now this what happened in Nigeria of 1967 to 1970 is almost similar to what happened in Rwanda in 1993, 1994. Now, the one thing that has happened, but what makes Rwanda different from that of Nigeria, is that if you go to Rwanda today, you don't see a Tutsi or a Hutus telling you Nayabo a Tutsi or a Hutu. They simply tell you, I'm a Rwandan. As a matter of fact, I think it was my boss who told me when they went to the Governors Forum, had, I think, a retreat in Rwanda and all that. So they were in the vehicle and they were on the tour guide who was taking them around, showing them some historic places in Rwanda and all that. He narrated the story of the genocide in Rwanda and all the war and all that, how it evolved. So one of the governors now asked him, so are you a Tutsi or a Hutu? He said, no, I'm a Rwandan. So you see that from the ashes of their past, they have evolved a new identity. And that is why people like us who are pan-Nigerians have always continued to advocate that it is time for us to evolve a new identity from the ashes of our past, either as a country, Nigeria, or as Ndi Igbo. The question now is, Isi Igbo onye Igbo. What makes you onye Igbo? What Oepota neti Biafra agitation, and yet in the course of this so-called marginalization, either contrived or real, we still have Igbos who are doing so well in this space where we are marginalized. As a matter of fact, if you look at the poverty index of the country, of Nigeria today, I am sure that Southeast has the least in terms of the states and areas where you have people who are living below the poverty line. If you come to Southeast, it's the least in terms of the population. Because why? This is a region where you have in the Southeast, as at today, as at 2017, Governor Soludo quoted that we had over 11 million Igbos who were living outside the homeland. Talking about 2017. Now, 2017 to now, if you want to do the population, you want to extrapolate and project, that figure should have increased by, say, 5%, or maybe 2.5 or so percent. But if let's use the list, if it has increased by 2.5%, that means currently you should be having close to 15, if not 17 million Igbos who live outside this space. So I tell anybody who is talking about agitation, talking about secession, that it is truly not in our informed best interest to talk and go about secession in the way and manner we are going about it. I said, like the Jews, we are a very itinerant people. And as a very itinerant people, we are the only itinerant people in the world, anywhere in the world, that I can remember that has a neglected homeland.
Neglected?
Yes. As a matter of fact, there are Igbos today who are in Kano, in Borno, in Lagos, and various other parts of Nigeria, or even other parts of the world. One of the ways to kill them, you talk about water, save an Igbo. For 1 year. Because there's nothing here for them to even survive on. I was giving one story to you.
And you think Nigeria is the one doing it for them and then giving them that environment? Giving them
what?
That eligible environment.
I told that as an Igbo man, you are born ready. The fact that we say that once you are born an Igbo, once you born Igbo, you go the natural degree for BSc Commerce and Trade. So anywhere you are, you have that natural instinct to survive, not just to survive, to blossom.
I want to make healthy living a culture in our society. The time to make exercise, sweat. That sweat is very important. Ibana garden, bela very natural food. Or if your body need it, just new day to